Okay, now we're gonna talk about Resident Evil 2, which is pretty much one of the most popular Resident Evil games out there, which pretty much... I didn't really play this game right away. I played this game in 2003, because I was trying to play Resident Evil games. I already had Code Veronica X, and I already had Resident Evil Director's Cut, and Resident Evil 3. I was trying to see... I felt like I was missing a part of the story, and I was hearing about, when I heard that Resident Evil 2 and 3 were already on GameCube. So, but I'm just gonna, that's what wanted me to find the PlayStation version. Technically, I found it, but the one I have now is not my original version. Like, the original version I had was the greatest hits version, but it got scratched, so I got another copy for the Black Label one. So that was that. And this game takes place 2 months after the first game, where... do you want to explain the story? Because I'm afraid I'm going to spoil it, but you want to explain the story about Resident Evil 2?
Yeah, sure. It's 2 months after the first game. Now the Bergen, who is a member of the Umbrella's kind of development team making stuff, he comes up with this rendition. The T virus, which was in the first game, it's now the G virus, and he has the samples. And as Umbrella soldiers are trying to pretty much take that from him, take his work, before they could take his work, he injects himself with that. And the G virus is actually spread around the city through rats, and that's how it gets to the city and through all the people there. So by the time Claire and Leon arrive, it's all gone to hell. They run into each other, depending on, you play through both scenarios, and they kind of follow the different stories and whatnot, different sides of the story.
Yeah, we should mention that the characters this time are Leon S. Kennedy, a rookie police officer who's first day on the job, and it's already gone to shit because of what's happening with the zombie outbreak because of the G virus in Raccoon City. And then you have Claire Redfield, the younger sister of Chris Redfield from the first game, who's trying to find him because he disappeared after the incident of the first game.
Yeah, and then that ended up being Chris leaving to Alaska with Jill to stop Umbrella, which was in Umbrella Chronicles. So it's kind of cool that they threw that in there. And Leon was actually late to the party, late to the city, because he broke up with his girlfriend and was out partying the night before, and that's actually why he arrived late in the city, which is a fun fact, but that's a little backstory on him. That's why he came late and everything was kind of to shit. But at that point, he was able to find Claire, and then that's kind of where the game starts, where the canon way to play it is Claire A, Leon B. But that's actually the right way to play it.
Yeah, that's the modern people of Capcom saying that. You're really, to me, I feel like that Leon A and Claire B should be canon. I mean, I don't really care which is which, because the footage you're seeing from here is from Leon A and Claire B, because to me, I like playing it better, because I don't know, I feel like playing as Claire for the Claire B scenario was more of a better fit for me and stuff. But
yeah, I mean, everyone has a preference. It doesn't matter. The cool thing is, it doesn't matter how you play it. You're still getting the story. And then if you complete it, whether you do Leon A and then Claire B, you're still, you still run into Sherry Birkin, which is William Birkin's daughter. But I mean, this game right out of the gate, I mean, there's tons and tons more graphically enhanced environments, 3D rendered backgrounds and whatnot.
Yeah, and also the load times for the door scenes are quicker too, and the sound effects with the knob turner are synced up this time too. I should point out a little factor that in the first game there was a little delay between the doorknob turning and the sound effect of the doorknob, so there's a little bit delayed because of the game, because of the quality of the game and stuff like that. But this time they fixed that and it's quicker, and the fact that there are more rooms and stuff like that you can explore, and the save rooms. We should have mentioned the save feature too, but like how you need to find ink ribbons for the typewriter and stuff. I'm sure a lot of people already know that.
Yeah, but that's a common theme throughout these original games that we'll be talking about. Is they have their save rooms with their typewriters, and ink ribbons is what you find to save. So each ink ribbon is a save, and you're limited on how many times you can save. So
and of course you have that storing items in the chest too, which I kind of like that. I like that feature. It didn't really bother me. I mean, if it was Chris playing as Chris in the first game, it did kind of bother me a little bit, because you only carry 6 items, but as Jill in the first game, it wasn't a big issue. But I know it's off topic. But what makes this game? I mean, this game is actually to me, Resident Evil 1 was a little better with story-wise and gameplay-wise a little. I mean, like, there were some improvements here and there, but there were some powerful gameplay and stuff like that, but the sound, I mean, like, there's sometimes a sound, like the music was better in Resident Evil 1, but the voice acting is better in Resident Evil 2 and stuff.
Sorry about that. When I saw the uniform, I thought you were another zombie.
Who are you?
Ada Wong.
And what are you doing here?
I'm looking for some guy named Ben. He's one of those reporter types, always looking for a scoop. I heard he was locked up in the cell block, only there's a wrecked car barring the entrance. I've been trying to find another way inside. If we work together, we can move this thing. Give me a hand here, will you?
Wait! Let me go! Easy, easy there! I'm not a zombie! You're safe now. My name's Claire. What's yours?
Sherry.
Do you know where your parents are?
They both work at the Umbrella Chemical Plant, near the city limits.
The chemical plant? Then, what are you doing here?
My mom called and told me to go to the police station because it was too dangerous to stay at home.
From the look of things, I'd say she was probably right, but it's dangerous here as well. You'd better come with me.
But there's something out there. I don't know what it is, but I saw it. Much larger than any of those zombies. And it's coming after me.
What was that?
That's what I was telling you about. It's here.
Sherry, wait!
But like, I mean, like, the places you go here are a little bit on the downside. Like, you don't really feel, there are times you don't feel that horror-like elements like how you could in the first game. Does that make sense at all?
It makes sense. I mean, I disagree. I think there's a lot more to it. Just because you're dealing with more zombies, it's more tense. There's a lot more stuff going on. There, you have Birkin running around. You have different versions of these tyrants coming out and alligators. It's on a bigger scale. It's like
there's more
bigger budget movie,
stuff.
to speak.
I mean, there's more enemy stuff, but it's some of like the places you go to, like the sewer and stuff like that. The sewer like is kind of a little. I wasn't a big fan of the sewer part, and and there was also like this laboratory part. There was like this laboratory area, which like there was a lab in the first game, but I feel
there's always a lab somewhere.
Yeah, but like I feel like the lab in the first game was better in my opinion. And
yeah, that's good. I mean, like, it's good to hear different opinions. I mean, like, you know, I like the police station. It's classic. It's one of the most known places in Resident Evil history. Everyone talks about it. The city streets, the destroyed, you know, decay of bodies, and you know, the scenery. It's a brighter. It's a more colorful game. Resident Evil is very dull as far as its color scheme. It's very like dark gray and blue, and that's fine because it works for that because it's an isolated game in a house. This one captures the tragedy that is Raccoon City Incident, because when people say Raccoon City Incident, you immediately think of 2 and 3, and 1, but 2 and 3 took it to a mass, to the masses as far as the tragedy that was what Umbrella caused. So I think
they expanded on that quite a bit because, like, it tells you what happened to Chris and Jill. Oh, here's a reason why. I should mention that in the first Resident Evil game, Jill's story is canon because like you don't see Rebecca in any other games. Just sort of spoil that there. But like they say like the Chris Jill Barry disappeared afterwards because nobody believed them about the virus outbreak, and then all this started to happen. So they fled to put a stop to Umbrella.
Yeah, there's concept art. What Rebecca does survive. The way they did it was they all did survive. They just did it where it was. They just didn't show it just because that's just how they captured the ending. But there's actual concept art of them in Chief Irons' office, all of them standing there. It was Rebecca, Barry, Jill, Chris, like everyone that survived, and they're yelling at Irons and stuff. Obviously, Irons is paid off by Umbrella. Like that's just you'll find that out. I mean, but it's the reason why that was a thing is because they just didn't capture all the endings because there's just different parts of the scenario. But the main thing was they all survived, and that's kind of how it was because she. Vendetta shows her after Resident Evil 1 in the timeline for the first time. And that it's a great film, but that actually, she survived Raccoon City. She said, she survived the incident and whatnot. So it is canon. They just did it differently, and it's evolved over the years. But it's just kind of one of those things where it wasn't told the way. Like it has like an underlining story. Like Umbrella Chronicles kind of did that where they paired them up in the mansion, like they did all that shit. So like they made it like a little bit different.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. But
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, that's cool that they did that.
We should mention though, like the one downside about the graphics is that like the FMV, they don't have FMV cutscenes this time. They have CG cutscenes, which they pretty much do throughout the rest of the series. But I guess that some people were a little bit turned off by full motion videos with live actors. That was a little turn off for some people. I guess that's why they stuck with. This
and plus, it was too cheesy. It was really just like B movie-ish. Like they couldn't, like if they're trying to capture a serious game, which is what Resident Evil 2 is a little bit more serious as far as its tone. I think like they kind of just made a conscious decision to be like, we're not going to do that again because it just, they probably just weren't happy with it. I mean,
probably not, but
they probably weren't.
But one thing that Resident Evil 2 did improve on are the controls. I felt like the controls were smoother this time because there were. I don't know about you, but there were a couple times where the controls felt a little bit unbalanced and clunky at times and stuff because like especially like me, I had no problem with the tank controls because a lot of people say they hurt their thumbs using the tank controls with D-pad, but I don't because I have a double jointed left thumb, so that's probably why I had no problem with it. But like with like trying to like. But like there are times where you're trying to like try to push something and stuff like that, it wouldn't respond at times. Where like it just felt a little bit clunky, but it worked. But the controls feel smoother this time. And I also forgot to mention that there's also more weapons this time around too. Like there was only like a few weapons. Like we'll go over Jill's story. Jill only like a few weapons she had, like a handgun or a Beretta to be exact, a shotgun, a bazooka with different rounds in it, the combat knife, and the Colt Python and stuff. Yeah. But here you have more weapons. You can get like a submachine gun. You can get a grenade launcher and stuff like that.
Get side packs that add additional inventory slots.
It is a little annoying that certain items have to take up 2 slots because I don't know why certain items need about 2 slots. So like a shotgun takes about like 2 slots.
Yeah, they fixed that in 3, thankfully.
Yeah, well, it did come back in a couple other games, but that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you should also mention this was the first Resident Evil game released on the Nintendo 64 too. The version you've seen here,
one and only game. Yeah.
This version you've seen here is the PlayStation version. It's the only version I own, but this game was like everywhere. N64, the PC, the Dreamcast, even the freaking Gamecom, and also on the Nintendo GameCube. And
yeah.
It was actually interesting because like when I saw that it was on the N64, I thought it's probably just going to be a watered down port and stuff like that. And it actually, technically, they're actually able to get all the CG cutscenes onto that cartridge, but it was very compressed down, and some of the sound effects were pretty bad. It wasn't on 2 discs and stuff like because you were able to play as Leon and Claire on one cartridge, and there was also some things missing from the N64 version, but I never played it. Some people say it's good because, like,
it's good
from a technology perspective. But I really said I never played it. I can't.
You can change the color of the blood. You can, it comes with like rookie mode and stuff that the DualShock version kind of came with. So
yeah, but I feel like that. I can't give it a rating. But the GameCube version, though, what a waste of money. It's basically just a port with slightly updated graphics, and that was basically it. That was basically like, wow, how pathetic. You basically spend like $60 or so. I don't know how much it was, $50, $60 for that game, or whatever the price was, and you're getting this thing and get it cheaper on the PlayStation. And the GameCom version, you only play as Leon because we're gonna release 2 different games. But the GameCom flopped so badly that it was retired before the Claire game could be released, and there's no storyline in that game actually, except for the opening cutscene. So it's basically a waste of money. The Dreamcast version, I've seen the Dreamcast version. There's like it's updated graphics, but there's slightly longer load times and stuff when it comes to the.
I think that's the best version. It actually runs in 60 frames, which is kind of cool. It looks the best. It looks better than the GameCube version by far.
The PC version is probably on. I think the PC version is the same story.
Yeah, PC version is the Platinum Edition, which is something I still need to get. But I have played it though, and PC is always the best. I mean, Resident Evil 1 looks the best on PC. Resident Evil 2 looks the best on PC. 3 looks the best. They're the best that you can run that game. You know, you can skip load times. There is no load times because it doesn't need to load because it's on PC. I mean, the hardware is superior to all the consoles, so that's the best way to play is on there. So yeah, you got to play with a keyboard and mouse. Well, a keyboard, not really a keyboard and mouse, but a keyboard.
Yeah.
But I can't plug in controllers. But yeah,
I should mention that there's also a DualShock version too. But this time they actually did not change the soundtrack. It basically has this thing called rookie mode, which basically gives you all the
rookie. Yeah.
That's honestly, rookie mode is fun when you're a kid stuck in the game, but playing it now, it's basically a hold your hand game where there's no challenge in it. There's no challenge in it. You pretty much have all the good weapons from the start, and you have like 4 or 5 first aid sprays right away, and it's pretty much
the easy mode of Resident Evil 3, in my opinion, because Resident Evil 3's easy mode was like, that's too easy. Well, you get a fucking machine gun, and you get all the weapons. You literally get all the weapons in the start.
Well, we'll get to that in Resident Evil 3, but the thing is that, like, it was actually, when I got older, I realized, this is too easy. Well, that's why I had my greatest hits copy, because the greatest copy had the rookie thing on it, but... Yeah,
I think it was just the greatest hits version of the DualShock, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Because there was the DualShock, and then there was, like, the greatest hits of that was the slim case. It had it had the double disc, but it had, like, one.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
And but then when I got the original version, it didn't have like the rookie thing. And I was thinking, okay, I'm already kind of getting used to the easy mode, so let's do the easy mode, because normal mode is pretty hard. But I kind of suck at the Resident Evil 2 and 3 on the hard mode and stuff. So yeah, I know I know, silly, I know, but overall, it's a better game gameplay-wise and stuff like that, but I also noticed that even with it, but people have told me that the game could be a little too easy at times, but this game is still going to be getting a good rating. I'll probably give it a 9 out of 10 would probably be good. I can only rate the PlayStation version because I haven't played the other versions, but I do know that the GameCube version is a waste of money. The GameCom version you stay away from. Nintendo 64 version is an interesting version if you don't have a PlayStation and stuff. It's got everything there except for like the battle mode and stuff like that. And the PC version I never played either, so I can only give the PS1 version a 9 out of 10. What would you give it?
Resident Evil 2 as a whole, it's a perfect game. It's 10 out of 10. There's a reason why it's a fan favorite. I understand. My favorite's 3, but like I said, because that's my favorite doesn't diminish anything from these games. There's a reason why this is a fan favorite. There's a reason why this is being remade as we speak. There's a reason why it has a cult following, and this was bigger than Resident Evil 1 when it came out. It was huge. So you got to give it credit where credit's due. 10 out of 10 game. Can play it a million times, never gets old. That's how you know it's a great game. And same thing with DualShock. 10 out of 10. GameCube, I'd say like a 6 out of 10. There wasn't a reason to rebuy it, but I know it was a contract obligation that for Capcom and Nintendo to release them. So, you know, it kind of, again, it was for people that didn't have a PS1, had the GameCube, maybe played Zero in the remake and wanted to play that. So, you know, for that, fine, but I didn't get much value out of it. Dreamcast, 10 out of 10. N64, 10. I mean, all those ports are great. They're just great. They bring their own thing to it.
Except for the GameCom version, obviously.
GameCom haven't played, so
don't want to play.
Yeah, it looks like shit. So
it is shit. But even when I played it, I know it's shit because AVGN did a little bit on it, and it was awful. But like, I like the game too. I just feel like that like it could have been better, but it's still a good game to 9. It's still a great game to play. You can still play it, so that I still have fun with it, and there's tons of other things to do. There's some challenging puzzles there too, and I say it's great overall.